Okay, is this going to work? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Lots of changes here today, guys. Are we up? We're up this morning. Okay. Hello. The approaching horde. Okay, a lot of changes. I know all the settings in the back of this have all changed. And we changed our OS yesterday afternoon because of changes in the email world. And everything's different. My CPU is burning here. Look at this crap. So give me some feedback here on how it's working. The frame rate's changed. The resolution has changed. We're at 19 something now. I don't know what it is. And we may have to try and cut this down depending on how things go. My CPU is spinning away like crazy. So as we go through this morning, let me know how this works, okay? After the upgrade, neither of the cameras would work. I've spent the last, whatever, not an hour, but nearly an hour trying to get these things upgraded to work. Anyway, here we are. The resolution should be quite a bit improved from what it is yesterday. And we're at full, I think it's 1080p now. Yeah, we're at 1080p now, but whether this is sustainable or not, I don't know. Let's just give it a try. Let's see. Also, the whole way the layout screen has changed, so let's have a look. Anyway, you know what we're doing? Pick up where I left off yesterday. Let's go. Karen's working upstairs. I heard some other footsteps. Suga-san's here. It'll be a full house upstairs today. Paper is out. Thank you. All 4 sheets, all 4 packs of papers out. Karen's paper, Rei-chan's paper, Ishikawa-san, and Suga-san. It's going to be a full house up in the printer's room this morning. All right, let's get to this. We're cutting butter this morning here. There is indeed a sizing session coming. Actually, the sizing now is getting critical, and it might be tonight. I might be doing sizing tonight upstairs by myself. So. And the last few sizing results, we've really been struggling. There's too many changes happening at the same time. Change in the weather. The weather's really been difficult. I know it's been really, really cold some days, really, really hot some days. I'm trying to figure out which seasonal changes to use for the paper. And I've been getting it wrong just as often as I've been getting it right. Kubota-san, I gave him some paper a couple of weeks ago. He complained that it was too hard. He didn't complain, he's a nice guy, but he let me know that it was too hard. So I backed off a bit on the batch after that, and then he found out that it feathered. It was too soft. So to me, trying to find the right balance is really difficult. It's a beautiful morning out there in Asakusa. Crazy, beautiful sunshine, nice mood. It rained overnight, so the streets are still a bit wet, but no rain this morning, blue sky. We got questions here. Snow in Tokyo today. It was snow yesterday. I don't know if it's still snowing out there. Up in Ome, in my home, it snowed yesterday morning. How far is Karuizawa from Asakusa? On the Shinkansen trains, about 35 minutes. There's a new Shinkansen, the Niigata or Hokuriku Shinkansen goes up now from here. So it's not so far at all. It's a little bit expensive. It's not a local trip. It's, I don't know, curious, look it up. But about 35 minutes on the Shinkansen train. So you've got, somebody's got 152 kilometers, but it's really, really close on the bullet train. People commute. There will be people living in Karuizawa who work in Tokyo. You're thinking about Terry's place, I know the Mokohanga school, the new Mokohanga school in Karuizawa. It would be kind of expensive to commute there every day, but when Camilo, the young man from Mexico, when he was here last month, he stayed up there in Karuizawa and came down to Tokyo on the weekends. Now we've lost our tip. Pushed a bit too deeply there. Can you see it? There's our tip. It's magnetized after breaking off, they get magnetized. There it is. So you know what we're up to here? Sharpening time. My new glasses this morning, and I'm not used to them yet. I had to get new glasses yesterday night, last evening. It's common in the shop here, the staff knows. Dave's like, where's my glasses, where's my glasses? The ones I use during the day. I walk around, I don't need glasses, but when I want to read something or write something, I need these glasses. They usually sit here, whatever, I carry them around. Yesterday, at one point in the early afternoon, I'm like, I can't find my glasses. So I look back at my bench, nothing. Look over at the sales counter, nothing. Go in the party room, nothing. Whatever, long story short, all over the place I heard, search and search and search and search, cannot find my glasses. So I try to play back where I last saw them. And there was one point where the girls in the staff were doing a print party. I was running the counter. And a family from Australia, it was, whatever, they bought some prints and they asked for them to be shipped. So I brought out the little pad that we have. They write their name and address ready for shipping stuff. And then she wrote her address. I put my glasses on and checked it to make sure it's okay, the 6s, 7s, 1s, whatever. Put my glasses on the counter. That's the last time I remember using them. And I think that lady put them in her bag. There's no other solution. Now, just after that episode where she wrote her address, she had been using her glasses on and off also. So I think she put my glasses in her bag by mistake, because that's the last I could see them. And after that, they just are not here. And me and everybody, we took the building apart yesterday. That's a strong stone 4, and it cuts fast, so we don't need to do this for very long. It's really easy to cut too much. That might be enough right there. Touch it up here lightly. Soften up the last strokes. Yeah, that's it. We've restored our shape now, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah. So I had no choice after the shop was done last night. I'm walking around like a blind man all day long, can't do anything. Couldn't use a computer, couldn't look at email, couldn't do anything without my glasses. So last night, after we shut up the shop, I went to a glasses shop nearby and got another pair. So of course, I'm sure what will happen this morning is the old ones will show up somewhere. That's the way these things work. But I had no choice. I had to cut them around. Okay. Again, the sharpening, because the blade area is so small, because there's such a tiny amount of steel that's involved here, the sharpening is just extremely fast. Just a few strokes is all it takes to cut that knife. I kind of forgotten that I was carving on boxwood here, you know. Okay, let's go. Take it easy, Dave. There's no crunching sounds today on this wood. The scale is so small. There's no way we're going to hear any crunch, crunch, crunch at this level of work. I keep talking about butter, and it's that smooth, it's that soft, it seems, at this scale. It's hard, as in quote unquote hard wood. But when you get to this scale of this slices of a tiny fraction of a millimeter, it's soft. And it's too bad we can't get that scope camera up and running yet, because that would be fun for a job like this, of course. We had an update on that yesterday. I told you last week, I bought off the net, based on the specifications, a camera to go into the microscope here. And, it seemed to be a total fiasco. They're advertising, 29 point whatever FPS. And we struggled to even get to 2 FPS, so I just got upset and just sent it straight back to them. What kind of piece of crap do you think you're sending us? And they didn't cave. They sent it back to us yesterday, saying, suck it up, you bought it, here it is. In essence, it was a letter included. So. But they also did say that they thought I was using it wrong, and that I had got the exposure settings wrong. So we'll give it another go. I did, when I was testing it, I did try exposure settings, everything that was available in their software interface. We tried from the minimum exposure to the maximum exposure, and none of it got a better frame rate. So when I get a minute, it won't be today for sure, not with the parties here, but when I get a minute, I'm going to have another go with a brighter light. I'll try and get a brighter light on the work, which should help the machine get a better, faster exposure. And we'll see. Whether we can get it from 2 FPS to 29 is a different story, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, it's my problem, because they said, suck it out. So we'll see how it goes. You can perhaps hear in the background some generic construction noises. And those of you who were watching the stream last December know what was happening. There was a building across the street, a tendon restaurant, been there for ages. It was coming down, and they got it down, got the land cleared and ready for the end of the year by December 31st. And since then, nothing's been happening. It's been, they put some vending machines on it just to use the site. And they came down at the end of March, which is the usual time for Japanese things to change. March to April is a changing time. And now we're into April, and it looks like construction's going to start. So whether it's the same tendon restaurant coming back or a different building, no idea, but we're going to hear now for the next, perhaps nearly a year, we're going to hear construction sounds from across the street as the new building goes up. And the normal rule for noise and construction sounds and stuff in Japan is 8 o'clock start. It's 8 to 8 is the window for noise control here in Tokyo. So it's not unusual at exactly 8 o'clock to hear jackhammers starting up somewhere. So I think that's going to be a background to our streams for the next for the foreseeable future. What we're carving today is the lettering on the print known as Hanami Cats. It's one of the new prints in the Sushi Cats series that we're working together with Jed. The series, I guess, is going to be called Sushi Cats, the name of the first print in the set. And this is the third one, Hanami Cats. And the lettering turned out to be a bit too delicate to be carved on cherry wood together with the rest of the key lines. So our carver Kawasaki-san asked if she could leave it, so I said yes, and that I'd carve it myself. So we're carving it on a separate piece of boxwood, and it'll be printed separately from the key lines. And we're not going to insert this boxwood into the key block. We're going to print it separately, because it's so much more delicate. So carving it separately, printing it separately. Now on this project, this is Sushi Cats project, we're way ahead with the carving as compared with the printing. We have the blocks finished for Sushi Cats. They're upstairs. They've been sitting up there for months. Most of the blocks for the ramen cats are finished, not all of them. I think there's one color block, one pattern block still to go. And now Kawasaki-san's well into the color blocks for Hanami Cats. But we don't have printers, so now the printers are all busy with this year's subscription series, plus all the other work that still has to be done around here. So I don't know when these Sushi Cats prints are going to see the light of day. But at least we're getting the blocks done. Yeah, if there's new people here looking at this and thinking, oh my God, this is the most inefficient work in the world, it's actually not like that. This work is very efficient, actually. This print that we're going to make from this block, the prints that we're going to make from this block, I don't know how many we'll sell, but there will certainly be in the hundreds of copies. And on some of the prints in these series that we've been making, in the Ukiyo-e Hero series, we're into well over 1,000 copies. So I think we're up to 1,500 or so of the first ones, the rickshaw cart and fox moon print, stuff like that. So a set of blocks like this could be used for making, hundreds and hundreds of copies of a woodblock print. And this print is going to be in our price list. It'll be the same as the new Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. It'll be 15,000 yen, which will be about $145 or $150 US. And I think over time, it's going to sell many, many, many hundreds of copies. It's worth it to take the time and trouble to create the blocks to do this. It doesn't matter if I'm going to take 10 hours to do this, and it won't. What did I spend yesterday on this? I spent 90 minutes or something, another 90 minutes. If I had nothing else to do, this is easy a day's work for me, if there's nothing else going on. So I will not be spending more than 8 hours or so on this particular block. Kawasaki and the carver for the rest of the blocks, she'll spend more than 8 hours. She's going to spend a month on this, I think, somewhere on there. And she's going to get a month's pay for this. So she'll get, what do we pay her? She'll get for this block around 360,000 yen for this set. And that will pay her the basic fee for the first 200 copies we sell. And after that, if sales do continue after that, she'll get an 8% royalty per copy. So you can average sort of about an 8, 10, 12% royalty for the carver. So as we sell the prints over the years for around $150 each, about $15 of that, somewhere around there, will go to the carving team. I won't get any for this because I'm the boss, but Kawasaki-san will get money for it. So it's all in proportion. The printers will get about 16%, the carver gets 10, 12%, somewhere around there. The paper maker gets paid for the sheets of paper, the packing ladies get paid for the packing they do. The rest goes to our general overhead expenses, rents, all that stuff. Well, Jed's royalty, of course, will be a big chunk on top of that. So it works. Although when you see this, you might think, oh my God, this is the most inefficient thing I've ever seen. Just get your laser out and zap it. It actually adds up. It works. It's okay. And on top of that, the fact that the carver, Kawasaki-san, and me, we enjoy this. It's fun. I mean, this is not a chore I have to do. Oh my God, I wish I was doing something else. And take payment for it to sort of buy my time. It's fun, and the printers enjoy their work, plus making a living. So if somebody sees just this little part of it and thinks, what medieval, archaic thing am I seeing? That's not how it is. Oops, cut a bit too much there. Where's the undo button? It's okay. The curve still looks nice. I'm hungry and thirsty here. I didn't get a cup of coffee this morning because I was too busy working on the setting up of this stream here. New settings. Which reminds me, are we okay with the settings? We're at 1080p. My CPU is at 43%, which is higher than I would like. But is the stream steady, stable, no stuttering? The party booking. The music a moment ago was a party booking, and I think it's for later. It's for next week. the 18th of April. Another one, April the 17th. This is the way it is going, you know. If we are booked, we've now got a new record going. I forget the exact dates. I think March 15th. On March 14th, we had some empty spots. From March 15th, this is over a month ago, nearly a month ago, right through to April, last time I checked, 17th or 18th, we are booked absolutely solid. Zoom. No spaces, and they still keep coming in, still keep coming in. So we're still okay. Good. Maybe we can do this. But when the hot summer comes, you know, if I'm running 40% CPU now, and this is a little chilly morning, when August comes, there's no way we'll be able to do this. So we'll see how it goes. We had a funny one with the parties yesterday. At 1 o'clock, there was a group of 3 people booked. And we knew who they were. They were people who have collected our prints before from England. And we got there waiting, got all ready in the back. We finished our lunch, got ready for a 1 o'clock party, and they didn't show up. And I had sent them a reminder a few days ago, but it was to an English Hotmail UK address, which it almost never get through. Everything's spam fell through there. So they didn't show up. We were a bit puzzled about this because they were collectors. They knew who we were. Anyway, nothing to do. We just, we got busy with other work here and called it a no-show. And they're really rare at the moment. We had lots of no-shows last year, but this year they're really rare. But I also started to get nervous because when it's a person who we know is almost certainly going to be coming and they don't show, this really sounds like there's a mistake somewhere in they're misunderstanding the date or I'm misunderstanding the date. So I went back to the reservation, checked it. Yep, it all checks out. Wednesday afternoon, 1 o'clock, no problem. Confirmation sent. Reminder sent, everything sent, okay. And what happened, of course, is an hour later, just before an hour later, in they come in the door. Hi, ready for our 2 o'clock print party. And they had actually got it wrong. And the problem, of course, we were booked for the next session, 2:30. So we couldn't help her. She was really quite embarrassed that she had made a mistake. She pulled out she said, I'm sure it's 2 o'clock. She pulled out a reservation form. There it is, 1 o'clock. And it was funny. I'm not going to tell her her name, so it's okay. Maybe she's watching this, whatever. And she said, oh, that's so not like me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And her husband says, that's so like you. So we're, okay, cool it down, cool it down, cool it down. It turned out we hadn't opened up the 4 o'clock session yesterday because we were booked early through the morning, so I hadn't opened the 4 o'clock slot on the web. So we were open at 4 o'clock. So I just said, look, hang around, go to the coffee shop next door, come back at 4 o'clock, we'll take care of it. So we're laughing about it, it's fine. But she was so embarrassed because she screwed up the time, but whatever. And we had a great session. They're a good family. They did a really good job with it and had good fun. So it turned out okay. But that's so not like me. They were British, and I gotta say, actually, dealing with British people usually is fun. I guess I know how to speak to these people in terms of how far you can go with making a joke or making fun of them or sort of quasi-insulting them and stuff like this. Things that you can't do with Japanese people. You can't do this with the Japanese people that are in here. They're doing the print party and somebody screws up and you can't say, oh my God, you're the worst person I've ever seen in this room or something like this. You can't play those games, But when you've got a British group or Australians, they're okay. You can get away with anything with the Australians. Once you've established the mood that it's not formal, that it's going to be informal and that we can enjoy ourselves, once they understand the ground rules, then you can get away with anything. And Brits are like that too, So it's good fun. So even though they had started badly because they hadn't showed up, we had a good session. The staff here, when we first did these parties, back it's 35 years ago, the staff here is Japanese, and they're expecting this to be a class session and stuff. And we'd get into something like I just mentioned, it's a British group or something, and we're laughing around, and I start insulting them, and they insult me, and everybody understands the ground rules for these things. But the Japanese staff is listening to this with jaws agape. what did David just say? It's incredible. You can't say stuff like that, because they don't get it. It doesn't happen like that in Japanese, not with strangers. With your school buddies you've known for 50 years, okay, yeah, there's all kinds of things you can fool around with in Japanese. But not to a stranger you just met a few minutes ago in a retail situation. You can't do that. Oh, here we are. Nice day out there to show. Just every day, it's wild. We really posted that picture to Facebook yesterday morning about the snow,
and now
we are.
Now we have this. It's wonderful. No Karen this morning.
She's upstairs carving. She's
wonderful.
She realizes that if she wants to get some test printing on that before she goes home, she has got to get carving.
Yeah.
She was a bit not upset last night. That's the wrong word to use. She wanted to carve longer last night.
Yeah.
And I had to get out of here, go and buy new glasses.
Yeah.
So she didn't have a key. So one alternative was to say, you go upstairs and carve. I'll lock the door, and I'm going to go get my glasses.
Yeah.
But I thought we didn't need to get into that, so she went. And she said she was going to carve at her hotel.
Oh, okay.
But she came early this morning.
As long as she's doing no...
well, whatever, no. She was worried about stuff, I guess, the little chips and things all around. So.
Got it.
Hey, today, see, what I've done, I know I should mention, when I came here about 7:20 or so after I get set up, and nothing worked. Plugged both the cameras in, because I upgraded OS to 10.12 last night, and neither of the cameras worked. Over the website, drivers, still doesn't work, restart again, more drivers, restart again. But as you see, it did actually come back together.
That's good.
But the settings were all zeroed out, so I thought what we should do is, I've gone to 1080.
Okay.
So at the moment, you'll see a bit of a different, well, here, I should turn it over to you, and
a little higher resolution.
so that camera needs to be, we'll click that one off, and it's up to you, what do you want to do here? But we're at 1080, which meant all the different layouts and stuff, and we are running 40 to 45 to 50% CPU,
the CPU usage.
which is okay on a chilly morning like now, but come summer I don't know what we're going to do. So readjust the cameras as you wish, and you're gonna be where you're gonna be over there. That's gonna be your somewhere on there. So.
Okay, if I fiddle around to try to get that black bar at the top.
It won't go. No, because what's happened is it won't. That's the image now has filled the space because we're broadcasting at 1820 and I'm receiving from the camera at 1820. So if you want that black bar at the top, you're gonna lose at the sides because it. So I
think what we did last time was just make the frame a slightly different
yes, and I think
ratio.
So at the moment I've just left it all straight.
So I won't mess with it.
Offline will mess with it.
Okay.
So that's why the black is not there. But whatever.
That's fine.
I thought it might be simpler rather than rescaling it, which would have driven the CPU higher, to let it come in at 1820 and go out at 1820. But it hasn't quite worked like that.
Yeah.
So we'll test it later.
Okay.
when we get going.
Sounds good.
It was all happening just in the last couple of minutes before 8 o'clock, so.
Yeah.
And is that the corner, construction starting at the corner place?
I'll go check. I didn't notice since I come from the other side.
It's the building that came down at December 31st.
Yeah,
Remember
they've
it
had vending machines
yes,
there for
but they
months.
ended the end of March. And we're now to April, and the vending machines are gone. And I think
Are they gone? Yesterday I saw
yep.
them moving things around. I wasn't sure if they'd cleared it all out. The vending machines are there, but they've rearranged them and put a fence so people can't get behind them. So they've kind of made it look a lot cleaner over there.
That was there before. There was a fence you couldn't
was
get
there
behind.
the fence? Okay, 'cause
Okay,
yesterday
alright.
they were pouring gravel and making it thicker because all the rain was making everything mud.
Really?
No one
So
was
it's
going
just
to the-
renovation of the vending machine. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, but down the street where there was a fire, was it a month, 2 months
Well,
ago?
they're rebuilding the building.
They're
Yeah, I've seen
rebuilding
so.
that.
They've
So
been,
that's what all the clanging is right
oh,
now.
this one. So they're putting a scaffold in front of the
Yep.
building. Ah, soka. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Their trucks were delivering all kinds of goodies and stuff,
Yeah.
construction supplies. Also, the cafe across the street was supposed to, according to their waitress I chatted, she says starting in April there's going to be new egg yolk. They're going back to lunches
Oh,
and stuff
okay.
like that. But it didn't
It
happen.
didn't happen, yeah.
But was it yesterday or the day before? In the afternoon, a big delivery truck came in, like a food delivery truck,
Huh.
and they opened the door and propped the door open and
Yeah.
brought in boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of what looked like different food supplies.
Okay.
So it looks like the kitchen is something's going on over
There's
there.
an upgrade going.
Yeah.
Cool. Murabori Ningen asks, how do these thin lines compare to the hairlines on the kuchie from your YouTube video?
Well, this
Similar
is
thickness or
no,
not
no,
even
no,
close?
No, this is not even close. That's way thinner.
Okay.
I mean, out of some of this, there's a few things. Where am I going to get to up here? Like this thing, I think is
gonna be
whatever.
hard.
I don't know. And there's also scratch carving here, like this one. This has got almost invisible scratches in here. But the problem with the kuche is it was simply a grid. There was hairlines that simply crossed as a grid in many places. And that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Because you can't just curve this way and then curve that way. Like you can do with a pen.
Okay, that's one column down. Here we go. I don't know
right.
if I'm on screen or not. But
Yep.
Start the next column. And this boxwood, it's kind of soft. I don't know. It's kind of
So it
soft.
holds out.
Yeah.
Trogdor the Memenator. I missed a question from before, I guess. Re-asking mine from earlier. Did you have to do any relief cuts away from the finer lines before clearing the wood? Yes, in yesterday's video or 2 days ago.
That's what we've done here. You
Just
can
to
see.
prevent the wood from splitting or popping. Yep.
That's what we've done. We've cut around the outside. It's actually two reasons. One, it's a relief cut so that when you carve your line like this, it moves away.
Yeah, the wood
but
has
also
somewhere to
it's
go.
so that the clearing is done before you expose the lines. If you cut the lines first and into the clearing, there's lots of the risk of damaging by smacking things.
Right.
So. That reminds me. There was a question sound,
Oh, okay.
and I forgot. So if you navigate over to the mail system,
There we go.
of which more later,
Oh, no.
it's
Good question.
upgraded.
Oh, this was yesterday, actually. Did you answer a question about hobbies?
Yesterday, there was. I heard the Twitch question ding.
This was yesterday, 8:08. And there's nothing else new or unread in that folder. But this was unread, so... What are your hobbies
Am I
outside of
remembering?
woodcarving?
I'm remembering a ding from yesterday, just coming up now.
Maybe. Well, any hobbies outside of carving? Perhaps you're fully entrenched in it like others are with their cars or computers. Also, do you perform exercises with your hands to keep them limber? Interesting.
Can we just answer no to all those things? Let's get busy.
Okay.
Hobbies.
Carbs.
At this stage of life, no. When I was a kid, I did all kinds of stuff, but no, I'm a carver.
Yeah.
Without being sarcastic, there's people that have, what's the deal? They talk about work-life balance, like you.
Yeah.
You leave here in the afternoon and go home, and you've got, family
other
and stuff,
things, yeah.
do other things. I don't do that. It's just at the stage of life I'm at, it doesn't make any sense. What I want to do is just do this stuff. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's not a job in the sense of I need relief from my job by doing something else. The job is so much fun that it doesn't need that idea of getting relief from it. So no. Or somebody else hearing that story will say, what a sad case, and get a life. Go out and smell the flowers and do something else. Pick up your flute again. But that's just of no interest to me. I'm sorry. It's just...
You like this?
I like doing this, yeah.
Yep.
That either makes me a sad case or the happiest smell on the planet. I don't know.
Seem pretty happy to me.
So far.
Yeah. Don't smell the flowers. Smell the wood chips and the tea lattes. If you disable the preview, it should save some CPU power. But we use the preview all the time.
You mean the one we're watching?
Yeah, I think so, because we use it for turning on and off different cameras.
No, he might be
stuff.
talking about the Twitch, because we also, in the background, on the other screen.
Oh, yeah.
But Twitch, it's paused. So
Okay. So it shouldn't be eating
we
too much
need to
food.
see the Twitch stream and able to be able to see the chat. But
Yeah.
we've paused the video. And luckily, the chat doesn't pause when the video is paused. It could have gone the other way. So.
Yeah.
And I shut down Safari in the background. There's nothing else. Anything that's CPU intensive is gone, out of the way.
Got it.
Mail runs there, but that's only intensive for the moment that it's going to get mail.
Got it.
We need Google Chrome running because that's where the chat.
That's where the chat is, yeah.
Although again, that perhaps we could use Discord or something else, or wherever the chat is. Use a chat reader, so that we didn't need to access Twitch at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. If you're using Google Chrome, that eats up a lot of RAM. If you have a lot of tabs open, but usually keep it pretty cleaned up.
Got it very, very clean.
Yeah.
And I watched that with the activity monitor.
Yeah. Did you consider using Streamlabs? I'm unfamiliar with Streamlabs. Do you know about it?
You mean instead of Twitch? You mean? I'm not sure, because when we first started this, I looked into streaming on Facebook or streaming on Google, YouTube or streaming on this, and Twitch by far and away seemed to be the best community. And then for software, because we're using a Mac, there were more limits.
Oh, Streamlabs OBS has a built-in Twitch chat. That's what we're using. So maybe we'd have to dig around.
There were other things. So some of the broadcast software I inspected really needed Java runtime to run, and I'm a lifetime hater of the Java runtime on the modern Macs.
Got it.
It may be better than when I knew it. I don't know. So I should perhaps reconsider. But at the moment, I don't want to touch that thing.
Yeah.
Due to previous horrendous experiences. But I don't know. Things change. So.
Yeah. Okay, it's a feature packed wrapper for OBS. Got it. And we use regular OBS. I thought maybe it was the company that created OBS or something.
Whatever. I have no
misunderstood.
real problem with the OBS software. It's been really, really good. We had problems last year with the video inputs. We were using a Blackmagic video capture cards, and they were terrible.
It was terrible.
My God, that was terrible.
If you looked at it the wrong way, it would
Yeah.
disconnect.
The ones we're using now are, I forget what the company was, Magewell.
Magewell, yeah.
And it's what is it, a USB, I forget what it's called. It's got written right on top of it there. Right there.
Flip it over?
No, it's on the front. You're looking at the top.
USB capture HDMI plus.
Yeah. And they've just been almost totally plug and play. I know on a day-by-day basis, they are plug and play.
Yeah.
I had a problem this morning because I've just finished upgrading, which you expect.
Newest drivers and
But I
things
have
weren't
no
stopped.
hesitation. They've been fabulous.
Yeah.
As much as the word plug and play is sometimes overused, they have been plug and play.
Yeah.
And we've got 3 video inputs here running on this machine right now. So it's not something I'm interested in abandoning or just
Yeah.
right now. It's been going really, really, really well.
Got it. Well, it sounds like the Streamlabs extra wrapper thing doesn't even exist for Mac, so it doesn't apply to us. But... Oh well.
What we've got in this corner here is a lot of scratch brushing.
Right.
So what we do is we carve lines first and then smack them up. So my finished carving will not be dot for dot identical to the dots that we see here, because I'm just going to smack.
Yeah.
But it's also a two-stage process. I'm going to carve the lines first. We'll do a test print with it and then come back and smack it up.
Got it.
So this is not all going to be done right here sitting in this stream today.
You answered a question without me reading it. They had just asked, will it be difficult to try and print the brush effect from the lettering? And then I said, oh, you answered. So, I don't know if it's particular. I don't know if that's more difficult or not, but it's a two-stage process, like you said.
So at the moment in this area right here, I've left one thin line, another thin line here, another thin line, and later these will be literally smack.
Got it.
But I'm not going to try that right now. We'll do a test printing first.
So I meant to ask last time, when you're making the Kento marks, you use a white jig. Did you make that or buy that? Where did it come from? Someone's asking. Fly fish for fun.
Where is it?
There.
This is the jig you mean, right? This piece of that. I don't know why I hit you here. That's the jig. Excuse me, camera, while I refresh.
It's a part of a mint case. That was brilliant.
It's just a piece of plastic. I mean, it didn't matter. I just needed something that had a right angle, that's all.
Yeah.
At the moment, that day, I had something, let's see, what have I got in my pocket? And I cut it. Just, it gives me, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't need this.
Right.
There's no magical thing about this whatsoever. It just, what it means is when I do it this way, cut, I slide it along, cut, it means that the registration marks are going to be parallel.
Yeah.
Because we do need that. It's no good if, I'm probably off the camera,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Zoom out a bit.
It's no good if one is up and one is down. You know, you want the print parallel on the piece of wood.
Yeah.
So just by using this, slide it along, it just gives me the parallel.
Yeah.
Nothing, magical.
Yep.
At all. Nothing.
But it's a good distance from the edge. And
That's the distance we want. So,
that's great.
should we put them in the catalog and sell them, Cameron? What do you think?
Still mint cases. You cut your own. That would be pretty funny. There you go.
I don't know where I am. Is it going
I
to
think I can
focus?
see the amoebas.
But is it info? It says.
Yeah, it's perfect. You're right in the middle. That was funny. Do you know if Kawasaki-san and Chon-san use something similar? What did they do?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably measure or something.
Yeah.
Another one.
419. So
That's like the third one during the stream. Third, I forget. Second or third? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Second. No. Third. I don't remember.
That's funny.
Were you around yesterday afternoon when the British family didn't come and then
Yes,
came
and then
didn't
came,
come?
yeah.
They were so much fun.
Yeah, seemed like a really fun group.
They were. She was so much fun. You know?
Yeah, I felt bad about
Yeah, yeah.
misremembering the schedule, but it all worked out.
But the classic, you know, I think I was mentioned before you came here because we're not telling her name, so it's okay.
Right.
But it was just like a scripted thing, you know.
Yeah.
We sat at the counter and said, one of us has a problem because, you know, I said, your reservation was 1 o'clock. And she was quite, she said, I forget the exact words, but she says, it's 2 o'clock. And she's, I've got it here. So I pull up my documentation, I pull up the reservation, and she pulls it, she printed it out to bring it, and she puts it on the counter. And it's 1 o'clock. She was right. And she was so, the exact word, she said, that's so not like me. Yeah. And then her husband says, it's so like you. If it had been scripted, it couldn't have been more funny, you know. It was just so cool.
Oh, that's great.
So we sent them across the street to the coffee shop. They came back at 4 o'clock. We did it. It was fine. Yeah. We had a great party. Also, too, again, I'm not entirely sure I can talk about these things. So. Yeah. There had been another party at 2:30 who did show up. That's why we couldn't do hers right then. So
right.
So what I told her was, look, just wait a few minutes. If the 2:30 people also don't show, then you can grab that slot and go do that. So she and her husband and son waited around. And then about 2:25, in comes the door, and in come a group of 6 people, and it's clearly this is the 2:30 party. Group, yeah. So she and I locked eyes, and I said, there we are. So she says, okay. So out they went to the coffee shop. Yeah. Okay. But that 2:30 group, it was the most difficult group we have ever had in 5 years. The most difficult group. It's okay.
Part of it, I think, was probably language difficulties.
Language and age. And a couple who had been here before themselves to do the party had brought their parents, her parents and his parents. And they're getting on, and they didn't speak English, and it was a challenge for us. And Shiva-san and Audrey and I, we got through it, and the people had a great time. Yeah. They danced out with prints that they're so proud of. But we sweat blood for an hour. We sweat blood. And actually, the neat thing to say is, to try and get through it, as we were doing it, we invented new printmaking techniques. I'm not exaggerating. I know. I'm not exaggerating. We got, oh my God, what's going to happen with the black gradation? When we were in the coffee break, Shiba-san and us both said, they can't do this. There's no way they can do the next step. Step 4. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I said, let me think of something. Think of something. And we invented a brand new printing technique and put it into play. I tested it once or twice. Shiba-san already says, okay, let's go. We called him back from the coffee break, and it was fabulous. Yeah. Fabulous. And we used the same technique in the next party, the British party, and it went really, really well. I'm not really going to talk about this too much right now because it's something that worked really well on a one-shot. But we're thinking it perhaps won't work too well if we put it on the bench and try and do it all day long. But it worked really well for 2 parties in a row, bang, 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 when we were in a shell-shocked, frazzled, bizarre state. And the people went out with prints there. As I said, they just danced out the door, so happy with it. They couldn't, they knew they were clumsy. Yeah. There's people they're a bit clumsy for it, but they don't know because they've got nothing to judge it by. Yeah. But these people, we showed them how to hold the paper, and they couldn't hold the paper. We showed them how to put the paper in the registration marks, and none of the 4 of them could get even close. And they knew it wasn't close. Yeah. And they were okay. They were happy with this. Not happy, but they were, whatever. Okay. So they didn't.
They know their skill level.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Self-aware, I guess.
But we weren't willing to give up and just say, okay, this one's going to be a pile of crap. Just let's get it done and get them out the door. We weren't willing to do that. We wanted still. Good prints. This is the idiot Dave here at work. We didn't want to give up. We wanted them to get good prints. Even though they were so clumsy, they literally couldn't even hold a piece of paper. And they did. They got prints. They were just fabulous. Yeah.
I don't do any of the print parties, obviously, but I was down here in the shop since there were lots of things going on, and I heard you start describing things. I've never heard this before. What are they talking about? I've never heard this step, and then I finally heard. What were you doing? And it all worked
really
out.
Well.
Yeah, it was cool. But a while ago, someone asked, why do some people use gum arabic in their pigment mixes? Someone then said, I don't think Dave ever uses it, but it's a binder?
Yeah, it's not never. We normally don't use it. You will see some books on printmaking that say Japanese printing is done with powder pigments mixed with a gum arabic binder. And there are some cases where that is used, but in general, no. In general, no. There's people who can't believe that powder pigment mixed in water pressed into the back of a sheet of paper, it needs a binder, it needs a binder, it needs a binder. Because most other, it's not just printing, when you do oil painting and when you do this or that or whatever technique you want to look up in the world history, pigments don't work just by themselves. They need to have some kind of medium or binder or whatever. But it's the particular interesting quality of Japanese paper, those mulberry fibers with the spaces between them. It turns out that all you need to do is get transparent pigments pressed into those spaces, and bingo, you've got a magnificent object, a woodblock print. And in general, we don't need binders. We've got the rice paste, the starch paste, that just helps spread it out over the block and provide it into a sort of a creamy medium, rather than just having water pooling over the surface of the block.
Right.
So we got the powder pigments in water, which would pool on the block. We mix it on the block with rice paste to give it a sort of creamy situation where it stays still for a few minutes while we do the next operation, which is pressing it into the paper. And it doesn't need anything else, either at the moment of application or to be historically staying in there.
Yeah.
So it's really, I couldn't believe it at first when I saw it. I'm missing something. What's wrong? It needs gum arabic. It needs something. It needs binders. It can't be working.
Yeah.
And
but
it works just great.
But I think the sizing of the paper holds the pigments enough. Is that how it works? The sizing?
Well, what's
instead?
happening at a molecular level, I have no idea. I'm sorry. And in fact, based on what I just said, the interstices of the paper need to be opened for the pigment to go in there. And yet I've already splashed glue all over that thing, which would sort of maybe fill them up. So I don't know what's happening down there at that level. All I know is that with our prints and the prints we see by every workshop and the prints we see historically under the microscope, that's the way it works.
Got it. So gum arabic is not necessary? What would be the special cases when you do use it?
When you need really, really super thick, super dense application. For us general, the deeper color we want, we will print it twice, and that'll do it. But there is a density and a depth with some darker pigments, a deep blue or a deep red or something.
Yeah.
Or black, rich black. And we'll mix the gum arabic with the black. If you think about some of the Edo prints where there was a hair mass that is just rich midnight black you can't even see into.
Right.
That could be a thick thick carbon black with gum arabic.
Got it.
And if you want a gloss effect to it, the gum arabic leaves more of a gloss on the surface. And if you want that. It's also murder on brushes in the block. It's much more abrasive on the block.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you've got to wash everything, warm, hot, soapy water to get rid of it. Because if you don't, you get a dead brush.
Got it.
Whereas with our brushes, just using water and rice paste, we'd walk away from the bench, leave the brush sit there, come back in the morning, moisten it up, always pick it up and go get going.
Having a conversation about your sweatshirt. Is Mist Dave's favorite game? He seems to like that jumper. It's one of the two games he's ever played. What's the other?
I think we had talked about cheese toast. I think there's a little game that was on early Macs called Cheese Toast, which me and my kids played.
Yeah.
It's not the only cheese toast we played. We played Oxid lots. Me and my daughters aced that stuff. It's now called Enigma, but it was originally called Oxid, O-X-Y-D.
Yeah, okay.
And we spent more hours than I want to admit doing that. It was great fun. But the classic video games everybody talks about, like the Game Boys and Nintendos and whatever, we've just never had that.
Right.
We didn't have a TV at home, so anything that required TV connection just wasn't in our world.
Got it.
I'm speaking about my own kids, me and my daughters.
Yeah. Was gum used on the Moon print in the Solitude series?
Nope.
Just a couple impressions to make the sky that
Double
dark.
impression, yeah.
CPU is climbing.
Still climbing, or
It's over 50% most of the time now.
really?
Yeah.
But is anything breaking up? Are we getting reports of bad stuff? The light is still showing green there.
I think it's all been okay.
But to come summertime,
Yeah. Another man and his daughter played all the Sierra Company products, probably like Load Runner and stuff. I don't know. What other Sierra
I don't know
games?
what they are. I'm sorry.
Meepy Cheap says, all right, one more question about pigment and paste mixes. Some folks use oxgall in their mixes as a surfactant. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but do you know what they're talking about, why you would use that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I know we do need a surfactant with some pigments. If we've got earth tones like the red Bengala or something, we throw it into a cup, toss some water in, mix it up, it's good to go. If we use, for example, a Prussian blue or the red one that we call a Honyoko, the Carmen type stuff, if we just put some of the powder in a cup, throw some water in, it doesn't dissolve because the powders are so fine, they just sort of float around on the top of the water, and you can mix and mix and mix all you want and nothing happens.
Got it.
So you need a surfactant, and we use alcohol, just enough alcohol to moisten the powder. Sake, or we don't want to put sugar in there, so we don't use sake. The traditional guys use sake. We use just ethanol, whatever that we buy from the drugstore, 99 point whatever, 99 blah blah. So we moisten the powder pigment with the alcohol. Just let it sit. Blah, blah, blah. Once it's all wet, then we throw the water in, and bingo.
Okay.
But having said that, those pigments don't dissolve in the water. And as we are sitting there doing our printing, if we turn away for a minute, use the phone, and come back, the Prussian blue will start to precipitate and go to the bottom of the cup.
Got it.
So we don't do anything that will cause it to actually blend. We let it precipitate, then just stir it up, stir it up.
Yeah.
So for the printer, every time you put it, stir, 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 swap, swap,
Yep.
stir, 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 swap, swap.
You've probably seen that a bit on the Ukiyo-e Heroes videos.
Yes, and what this means is if you got a super microscope after it looks at the finished print and drill down and drill down and drill down and drill down, you're going to see those blue dots because those blue pieces of blue substance, the blue powdery substance, they haven't dissolved. Their molecular structure is still exactly the same. They're little blue dots.
Okay.
And the British Museum was, I've got actually it's public now. I know Capuchin at the British Museum just published a paper somewhere about pigments used in some of the old Hokusai prints. And this wasn't about the Great Wave. She published a paper about what they call the pink Fuji or the red Fuji, sometimes pink Fuji. And she published it last week, and it's open access somewhere. I don't know, I don't have a link for it, but if you Google up, her name is Capuchin, C-A-P-U-C-I-N-E, Korenberg, I don't know what the spelling. And she published a paper about 10 days ago or so on the pigments used in Hokusai's pink Fuji. And in there, they've got access to some super microscopes. So they've got pictures from the British Museum microscope that show you the dots of the pigments. And the picture I had in mind, they were showing the yellow pigment. Orpiment, they call it. It's the one we can't use anymore because it's a sulfur arsenic mix. And the microscope picture they had showed the little bits of yellow stuff wedged in between the paper interstices. So the stuff hasn't dissolved in water. It's just been carried in water.
Got it. What do they call it? A suspension?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So.
Thanks, Tutilis.
Somebody's got it?
An answer about some of the more specific details of sizing and why oxgall would be used and stuff like that. So, cool.
I thought oxgall was one of those things that's like used when you're making oil paints and stuff. You've got your powder pigments and you mix all these oily things with it to make an actual paint, like an oil paint.
Yeah, people are saying it's sometimes used in watercolor painting and it was also previously used a lot in inks, but not so much anymore.
Okay.
Interesting. When is Dave going to join Jed at the Florida Comic Con?
Well, it won't be tomorrow. I'm sorry. We have our priorities. That's Jed's meet and greet, and our own meet and greet happens right here in Asuxa. I don't go to the people. The people come to me.
Indeed. Yeah, someone said, my guess is never.
I also have such bad memories of last time I was trying to get into the U.S. It would have been maybe to meet Jed over there at the San Diego Comic Con, like in 2013 or something. I can't remember. And holy crap, what do they call themselves? The TSA or something or whatever. Yeah. You got a guy with a beard and a backpack and a hole in his jeans, and that's it. They hold me out of the line. I'm in the little room, and what are you doing? Where you going? Blah, blah, blah. Give me a break. You don't want me in America, good luck to you. You can take it and whatever. So I'm in no interest whatsoever to physically go back to America. Huge amount of our business is there. Our friends are there. People watching the stream right now. It's fine. But they don't want me
you don't have to be there.
I have to be there. I mean, it used to be. I grew up in, near the border. We used to just walk back and forth and fool around. Our high school was near the border. We'd go visit people back and forth. And it didn't make any difference. The border didn't exist almost.
Yeah.
Now it's this freaky.
If I'd known Jed was going to be at Seattle, I would have gone. Follow his Ukiyo-e Heroes page. He always announces
or
in
Insta
advance.
to show.
Yeah, Instagram too.
I think that's one he likes. He goes to that one, I think, pretty much every year, I believe. Don't quote me because it might change, but he's got a bunch of cons that he really likes and goes to all the time. And he's got other ones that he has to go to but doesn't like them.
Yeah.
He's got other ones that he's just crossed off his list. No more. Never one back there. Kind of an approach. So yeah, check his Insta or whatever.
Yep, he always announces in advance.
Well, that's something we get here every day too. Hey, we saw you guys at such and such a con. Got some of your woodblock prints there and stuff like this. So
yeah.
We hear this pretty much daily.
Mm-hmm.
What's on your plan today, sir? You're in your sort of, not your off season, but you're in your middle season.
The middle of the month,
those
before the 15th.
Jobs that we don't have things to do, no, jobs we don't have time to do except...
Right, except in this week between...
billing and billing,
things, yeah. So I'm going to finish up all those Numabe-san prints. The Numabe catalog is now really big on the website. I just need to finish that one more scan, upload the images and make sure they're all set to the right size.
So you say Numabe, they don't know what you mean. You're talking about Yoshida family prints and Hasui prints? No.
Most of the Yoshida family prints. Okay. I think I did add a couple Hasui ones that I found we had a bit of stock.
What about the new Doi Hanga ones we got all last week? All the Shin Hanga, the Kachoga, stuff like that.
One group of prints at a time. But those are coming. Okay. As long as... With them, it seems they have pretty good stock levels. Is that right?
Yeah, seems so.
Okay.
Seems so.
So those ones I will also tackle.
And when
Kira
we
did a lot
asked
of
for more
the
this week, they just brought them over straight away. Bang.
Okay.
So I think we're okay to go on those.
All right.
If it turns out otherwise, we just
turn it back off. Yeah. So the Shinhanga catalog is growing.
There was a flea market order during the night. I pulled it. And
thanks.
We don't have more, so I shut it down.
Deeply Hidden Love. Didn't you do
that
series?
was yes.
With that one? Okay.
I reproduced one of the set, and we did the quiz on the website.
Right.
years ago.
Can you tell which love is which?
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still in there in the back webpage somewhere.
Gotta go, guys. I've also gotta go find one of those mint boxes.
Also, too, there was an email from Shiba-san just before I started the stream. She'll be late this morning. There was a suicide at Kanda Station.
Oh, no.
The trains are all the Chua lines frozen.
Oh, that's too bad.
Footsteps.
There we go. Daychan?
Or Shiba-san.
Or a ghost. You had a ghost for a while, right?
So I'm going to be on party duty, I guess, party and shop duty most of the day here. Is there anything else I should be thinking about getting? Because I sort of cleaned up my to-do list the other day, shipping to Ome and checking prints.
I sent you a short email yesterday afternoon because you had so many parties all one after the other about Daychan. She wanted you to check a couple prints before she got started.
Yeah. We talked about that at lunch. I thought she knew what to do, but
Okay.
I haven't seen the final proof, but it looked pretty good. I think.
Right.
She may want some slight carving adjustments on that one, I think.
I think that and deciding next print job for her.
Well, it's got to be Patron Chibis, I think.
Okay.
You know. And the sizing, I may have to do sizing tonight because the requests are coming thick and fast now. So.
Okay.
And I don't know what to do because we've got the different reaction. Same paper going to different printers gets totally different.
Reactions.
Yeah.
Some really like it, some don't.
Yeah.
Interesting, but it's the same batch.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not just like it and don't. For Kubota-san, it was feathery. Shiba-san, Sugi-san said totally okay.
Huh. Interesting. Question about the wood blocks. Has there ever been any prints that required even a harder wood than the boxwood? Someone said, I think boxwood is as hard as it gets, but are those the only two woods you've ever used?
I don't know. I mean,
Yamazakura and boxwood?
Yeah, I know. Once you get harder than this, you're just talking about metal plates. So, I mean, really, because water doesn't go inside it. Even with the boxwood, it's difficult to print because water doesn't go inside. It just pools up on the surface.
Okay.
And we're using water-based pigments, so we need some kind of absorption into the wood. So there really wouldn't be anything we could do with a harder wood. Like if I had some ebony or iron wood or something, you could cut it.
But it'd be really hard to print with it.
Yeah, so.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
てくさん、good morning. みたいですね。そう。
Is that another area for scratch?
Yeah. So. Well, this all is black. It'll need scratching later.
It's such a nice day and so clear. I could see Mount Fuji again from the train.
So we've got a Sky Tree Day.
Yeah. Really, really nice. And I also found if you go to the front, like the very first car of the train, for some reason it was a lot less crowded than other ones.
It's not an old lady's car. You haven't made that
No,
mistake,
no,
have
that's
you?
the one at the back
Okay,
for some
okay.
reason on this direction, then going the other way, it's the other way around. But
'Cause I've made that mistake before. Yeah.
yeah,
Run along the platform, jumped in, jump. Oh, looks okay. Not so crowded. Then all the ladies look at you like this.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't say anything because you're in front of them. They sure you
Right.
can't read the signs.
yep. I was leading a tour group of high school students, and we were about to miss our train, so we hopped on,
Morning.
looked around, and then ran to the next car over.
Yes.
Oops. Good morning.
So this looks like it's good. Morning.
Yep.
Looks like
9:31,
Time.
so-
9:31. Let's shut her down then. Okay.
Okay.
So how far have we got? We've obviously got another couple of days to do with this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I do need sizing, so it might be happening tonight, might be happening tomorrow morning. So tomorrow's stream could go either way. Flip a coin. What's it going to be? Who knows? Today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep.
We're looking good. You know, this is nice. It's pleasant, easy to carve.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as I would like, but it's working. It's
Yeah.
working. All right,
See you all
another day of
tomorrow.
red calendar print parties. Let's get going. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back here same time, same station tomorrow.
Okay.
Sun is off. Camera time, please.